Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty in the Frizz. My name is Kara. If you're here for the first time, we are on an Iceland vacation because we can't really go anywhere, so we're just gonna pretend. And if you are returning, thanks for coming on back and staying on the vacation with me. As I said, we are on day 2 with the Nomad Cosmetics Land of Fire and Ice Iceland Palette. So if you wanna talk a little bit more about going to Iceland and see a look, keep on watching this video. Don't forget to let me know what you think, and definitely consider subscribing and joining the community because I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So I'm actually home by myself, so we shouldn't have a whole bunch of, you know, shenanigans going on in the background today. Maybe Cam, but he's chilling too. So in my last video, I swatched this beautiful, beautiful palette, and I also explained the meaning behind these wonderful shades. So I really want to thank you guys for the feedback from the last video. See, there's a lot of little historians out there because there were some questions that I had. Now, I am a teacher, but you know, I did have to look up this information and do like real research, you know. But there were some things that I didn't know. So my friend Ashley Willard had a really good comment. She also has a YouTube channel, so check her out. And she was saying that the Vikings was actually a job description and that it wasn't like a group of people. And the other thing that she mentioned was that Iceland and Greenland were named the way that they are to confuse people who came to those islands. So Iceland actually has more green land than Greenland. And Greenland is covered with more ice. Didn't know that. Not sure if that's common knowledge, but I definitely didn't know that. Thank you so much for sharing that info because, you know, we can all learn something. And Veronica McMinn, that's my Game of Thrones buddy. She was saying the show Vikings is the closest thing she's found to Game of Thrones, which you all probably know by now is my favorite show. I need to tell my sister about it. She's probably watched it though, I'm certain. What channel does that come on? I'm gonna look that up and let y'all know. Oh, she said, and at the end of the series, they found Iceland. I'm gonna have to put that on. And the other comment by Super Glam Beauty, she kind of brought it together for me about the connection between Iceland and Marvel, because I was talking about Loki and Odin, and I was like, oh, is this like Loki, Thor's brother from Marvel? And I forgot that Odin was their father. So let me read her comment because it kind of just wrapped it right on up for me. So she said that Odin was Thor's father, which I do remember now. And then in the Marvel movie, Loki is adopted. And in the Marvel comic book, Hel, remember I said Hel was Loki's daughter? But in the Marvel movie, she's Odin's daughter. But if you go back to my last video, you'll see that after I swatch all of the shades, I talk about each shade and how it relates to Iceland, the folklore and history, and you know, things that you can see when we go. So thank y'all for those comments. Like, I read every single comment and really appreciate them. So let's move on. One thing I didn't really get into in my last video is where the hell we're staying when we go to Iceland. I mean, we were there, we talked about, you know, what we can do, what we can see, some of the history. But now we're here and we can't be here. We can't be like ass out on the street. So let's talk about where we're staying. I don't have any makeup on because the look that I'm doing today, I just wasn't sure about the fallout situation. So I'm just gonna do it second and yeah, I'm just gonna do it second. Now the look that I'm doing today is gonna be fire inspired. So I'm gonna show you in a second the colors that I plan on using, but as y'all know, it can change at any time. All right, let's get my ears on. Oh, can I tell y'all? My skin is really clearing up. Remember I told y'all how I'm having like, let me stop touching it. But I've been having these acne breakouts. And I had like a little issue here and here on this side. It's funny because I think Yadi was saying the same thing about her skin here and here. But anyway, it's smooth. There are a few areas of hyperpigmentation, but it's going away. So that Neutrogena stuff, that really helped me out. And the other thing that helped start to lighten the spots was the Glam Glow Brightening Treatment Mud or something like that. Yadi gave it to me. I'll put it in the description box if you're having any issues with that. But yeah, that's doing it, y'all. Now let's talk about today's color story. First of all, for those who haven't seen the palette, look at this gorgeousness. And I'm just noticing how the fire shades are kind of like dividing this palette between these cooler shades on either side. So, oh, that was a cute little idea. Anyways, I'm looking at these 3 shades today actually, and maybe an inner corner highlight from this shade. So we have Hecla, Muspelheim, and Hell. And then I'm thinking about using this shade here, and this shade is River Glacier. So that's what I'm working with today. I'm gonna just put those swatches on my hand and we'll get into our accommodations. Okay, so this is the color story that I'm thinking about right here. I feel like this definitely will create a fiery look. I'm gonna talk and do this look. Now, accommodations. So, I don't know. When I was looking at some of the accommodations, you know, it made me realize like that I might be somewhat bougie in a way, because one of the things that they're known for having in Iceland are these capsule hotels, and I probably will put some overlays in here in case you don't know what I'm talking about, because I didn't know what that was at all. Starting with the shimmer today, using the shade Hell first, and we're going to try to do something a little bit different today. We'll see how it goes though. So, you know, a hostel, am I saying it right? Hostel, H-O-S-T-E-L. I'm really not trying to be in a dorm-like situation. I mean, if I had to do it for a night, that's cool, but I don't think I'd want to do it for a week. Now, I'm really curious about our Nomad owners and where they stayed when they went. Maybe I'll ask them, because I'm just curious, because I'm really interested in planning this vacation in real life. And I feel like if I continue to talk about it and manifest it and plan it, it's gonna happen. It can happen for us all. Let me know if y'all trying to go. So they have these hotels. I think they have one that has a galaxy theme. So when you go in, you basically get a key card like you would for any other hotel. But when you go into your actual room, there are these pods in there. And there may be like up to 4 pods in the room. Now inside of the pod would be, so if you're a couple, like you would probably share a pod. So inside the pod is like a double bed, there's a TV, and I believe there's a safe. But like you can't bring your suitcase into the pod. You can bring your suitcase into the room part, but not into the pod part. So I would say any of your valuables, you want to go ahead and put in the safe and take them out of your suitcase. They have like a hook for everyone's coat. So it almost reminds me of a condensed dorm situation. Now, you're gonna have, like, if you're a couple and you're going in there for like a romantical type situation, I wouldn't stay in one of those pod capsule hotels. No, because you can't do what you want to do. I mean, you can, but you know, I don't know. Depends on what your preference is with all of that. But I personally might not want that. And it's, if you don't like closed in spaces, that might not be a place where you want to go, because it's like these pods and it's like almost like bunk beds, you know what I mean? You can lock your own pod, but then again, you have the whole room. But they don't seem very big. They seem to be pretty reasonable. I will link the hotel that I'm talking about in the description box so y'all can see the website, but I am gonna put in some pictures so y'all can see, so y'all don't have to go do any extra work, because you know, I don't feel like doing no extra work. The other thing is that there's not, I don't think there's a bathroom in the actual room part. So when you want to go to the bathroom and you want to shower, it's like one of those community dorm situations where you have to go to the bathroom. They don't seem to have like room service or anything like that. There's like little, you know, cafes and things like that if you want to get some food. There might be a cooking area. I might be getting this confused with another hotel, but I think there's like a cooking area. So it's like a BYOF situation, like bring your own food. Not sure if they have towels. I feel like they don't have towels there, y'all. BYOF, BYOT. I'm just not trying to do that. I think maybe for a night. Now, the other thing is that because the trips to Iceland, I feel like, because I remember a couple years back, one of my friends that I taught with, her and her husband, or she got married and they went to Iceland for the honeymoon. And I was like, Iceland? Why do you want to go there? And then she talked about the Blue Lagoon. That's when I was like, oh, I need to go ahead. Why am I talking about that? Oh, because the flights were dirt cheap at that time. And I think that you can still get a good flight. But to do what you want to be able to do in Iceland, that's where your expenses are going to be. So you definitely need to rent a car for sure. That's the only thing, because I don't really like driving, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So you definitely need a car to see all the sites there. There is a road, I think it's called Ring Road, and it goes around the whole island. So I don't know how long that would take, but remember, Iceland is the size of Kentucky, so it's gonna take some time to go around the island in its entirety, especially if you wanna see certain things along the way. But you definitely need a car. And so that's going to be an expense. If you're renting a car for 7 days, that's another expense. If you're going to have to park your car at a hotel, that's going to be another expense in addition to the hotel. Some people do campgrounds, or they may have a trailer and they may stay at the campgrounds, which is going to be way cheaper. But I'm not trying to sleep in my car. Not trying to do that either. So I'm thinking I might have to do a mix of accommodations when I go. Like, I'm really not trying to do the capsule hotel thing. No, I'm not trying to do that. Because, in 2024, I could be going on a romantic trip to Iceland. Just saying, it could happen. I mean, right now, there's no prospects. But by 2024, I'm not going to sell myself short. Anything can happen. I mean, look what happened with the coronavirus. Anything can happen. So I'm just not trying to set myself up and be in that pod. And plus, I don't need to be that, tied up on somebody. It's just too much. Okay, look. So I'm using this as a transition shade, and let's see how this all comes together. It'll always come together in the end. Next, I'm going to take the shade Muspelheim, and that's this deep matte orange, and we're gonna go into the crease and the outer corners with this. Now, usually I would do a matte as a transition, and then a matte in the outer corner and crease and the shimmer on the lid. So I'm just trying to do something different, because don't nobody feel like watching the same thing all the time. I know I don't. So we've got the car. We have the hotel. They have traditional hotels, you know what I mean? And I think it depends on where you want to stay. If you want to stay in Reykjavik, which is the capital, I feel like that would be great. But I still think you're going to need a car, even though it's a great place to travel around on foot. I think that's wonderful. But to go see the sights, the waterfalls, the Blue Lagoon, maybe the optimal space for seeing the Northern Lights, because I don't know if people are going and watching the Northern Lights in Reykjavik. I need to look, but it looks like people are kind of out in these woods, which brings me to the next hotel. And this is probably where I would opt to stay for part of the time. So part of the time I would stay in a more traditional hotel. I'd like to stay in a luxurious hotel. Especially this might be the first vacation that I've had since, when's the last time? When did I go to Vegas? 2019, I guess. So by 2024, I'm need to do something big. They have, which is called the Bubble Hotel. Y'all, I'm gonna have to put some pictures in, because the Bubble Hotel it's another situation where it's not dormy, but kind of. So there's no reception there or anything like that. You go there and there'll be somebody to let you check in and show you where the bubble is that you reserved. It's literally a bubble. It is a transparent bubble that is outside that you sleep in, so that you can just be surrounded in the wilderness and watch the Northern Lights. So it's in a very optimal space for viewing the Northern Lights. There's no kitchen in there, so you need to have BYOF, BYOB. So you're gonna have to go into the neighborhoods to get your food. There may be a cooking area in this hotel too. And there are bathrooms on the premises. So you will have to get up in the middle of the night and almost reminds me of an outhouse, and go, where you need to go to the bathroom. But I think the experience of sleeping outside in the woods, and you can just watch the northern lights, hopefully from the comfort of your own bed, is amazing. Again, it is transparent, and it's not transparent like you can see out and people can't see in. So I'm just saying, bring some covers if you try and do something. I'm not a big fan of having to leave to go to the bathroom. I have a thing about bathrooms, especially public bathrooms. So that's like the only thing that's, you know. Now these hotels, I was looking at the prices of these. So the currency in Iceland is called the krona. And to stay in the hotel, the bubble hotel, depending on when you stay, it starts at 26,000 krona, which translates to be around, no, 26,900 krona, which turns out to be around $200 something a night, which I think for an experience like that, that's totally worth it. They do the guided tours, which include the one night there. So I think that's something I would do for a night or two, but I don't want to do that the whole time. Like, I want to probably stay in various accommodations in various areas of the island so that I can like see the whole thing. Cause it's not like I'm just rolling around taking trips to Iceland. Like, I need to try to knock it all out while I'm there. And then by having the car, and it's not, you know, a big country, we can probably get everywhere we'd like to go. So that's one place I'd like to stay. In addition to having the bubble on the ground, they also have hanging bubbles. Now these bubbles are in the tree and they're hanging, and there's like a little ladder that you climb up to get in there. So now that's the other thing. Like, what if I get disoriented in the middle of the night and have to use the bathroom and have to climb down that ladder? Like, this is the type of stuff I think about. But I think it's like all the experience. And the only thing is that those bubbles can move. So they don't really advise people who are seasick to stay in the hanging one, you know? So that's just something to think about if you're a type of person that gets seasick easily. So that's where we can stay, you guys. And then they have, again, they have the traditional hotels, which that's wonderful. So yeah, let me know what y'all think. Let me know where y'all trying to stay. Cause we gotta get consensus. Cause you know, I was just talking to Ashley about this today, Dr. Ash, like how you ever try to plan a vacation with people and everybody's like, I'm down. And then when you start with the logistics, it just be a whole bunch of foolishness. All of a sudden, nobody wants to pay for this. Nobody wants to pay for that. That's why I'm saying 2024, because then you can plan out everything you want to do. Let people know, like, this is how much it's going to cost. Either you in or you out. You either on the bus or you off the bus. That's it. I think this would be an expensive trip. I mean, the bubble, the regular hotel, the car, and then going around to the different sites is just going to be, you know, it's going to be costly, but I think that the experience of it is amazing. The YouTube video that I watched with I looked at the, what is it called? I looked at the actual bubble hotel, but let me back up. I'm sorry, y'all. But I watched a YouTube video with this lady that went with her mom, or her and her mom went together and they stayed there, and it was just gorgeous. Like, they said it was toasty inside and everything. That's not why I was mentioning that. I'll link the video so you guys can take a look. Oh, the reason that I mentioned it is because, so it was just like one night that she showed, but when she showed the northern lights, I might have said it in the last video, a lot of videos, if you look them up, taking the shade heckler. Let me continue on with this look so y'all not here for a long time. A lot of videos of the northern lights are time-lapse videos. They move, the northern lights move, but you know, sometimes they're not moving as fast as what you see on the videos. So if you're gonna look up the northern lights, I mean, you can look up the time-lapse ones, but also look up real time and you'll see. And in addition to that, I don't know if they just start out, I don't know why I'm using my fingers for this matte shade. I don't know what I'm thinking about. I'm gonna use this brush. I don't know if they just start out like with this bright flicker. I feel like when they appear, from what the lady showed in her video, it wasn't even colorful at first. It was almost like this, what do I want to say? Like a long cloud that went all the way across the sky. And another video I watched, the guy said the same thing, and he was like, his friend was so pumped, like, oh my God, the Northern Lights, the Northern Lights. And he was like, not really impressed, because we know what we see when we're thinking about the Northern Lights. When I'm thinking about the Northern Lights, I'm thinking of that electric green. I'm thinking about this. This is what I'm thinking right here. This shade right here. I'm thinking about this shade right here. I'm thinking about this shade right here. I'm thinking about a bright pink. You know, I'm thinking about all that and the curtainy effect that's happening. But if you watch, like I said, a lot of those videos are time lapses. Time lapses are not beautiful, extraordinary. Like, I need to see that. But I know, like, I would want to see that, but I don't think that we always see the start of it. Like, how does it start? Does it just pop up in the sky, or is it gradual? That I don't know. But what she saw as the Northern Lights, I was like, I might be a little bit mad. Anyway, even though, and they say, you know, obviously we all know it's not a guarantee. So not even gonna sit up there and be mad at Earth like that. But I'm trying to maximize the possibility of seeing it. So one of my videos, I probably am gonna do a video and a look dedicated to the Northern Lights. So I have to do some more research before I can get on here and really talk about it, because I don't know as much as I'd like to know at this time. So please respect my privacy. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, these mats are really pretty. They're really smooth. I don't know why I was going on it with my finger though. That was not what I was meaning to do. I'm just so used to doing shimmers that way. And I don't do a whole lot of matte looks. I don't do a whole lot of shimmers in the transition area. So this is good. I think what I'm gonna do is take the deeper orange, Muspelheim, and put that, I'm gonna put that shade under the lower lash line, and then we'll do our liner and lashes. And then I'll finish the rest of my, wait a minute, no I'm not. Hold on. I'm gonna go put my face makeup on, and then I'll be right back to, I was about to be mad, do this video and have no no face makeup on. Okay, I'm gonna do my face off camera, and then I'll be right back. We'll finish up the lower lash line. I'll do the lashes, and then we'll wrap up. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I did all my face makeup and my lipstick. I feel nice and fiery. Is this all too matchy? Whatever. Let's do the lower lash line and the eyeliner. That's it. Lashes. So for the lower lash line, as I said, I'm gonna go ahead with the shade Muspelheim and just put it under the lower lash line. So I'm gonna just take this shade, and I think I'm gonna do it like halfway. Okay, and then for the rest of the way, I'm gonna use Hecla and try to just blend it in. I'm just keeping it on the same brush. So there's a little bit of a gradient there. Okay, now I am going to line my eyes with, this is looking real fiery, this Urban Decay eyeliner in the shade Lucky, and I think it goes perfectly with what we're doing here. I think the Urban Decay liners are probably my favorite liners. I really like them a lot. I like these, I like ColourPop, I like the NYX Jumbo pencils. So 9 times out of 10, that's what I'm using for the liners. And you could go dark with this, like you could do a brown liner. I think that would be super pretty. And if you like to do liner on the top lid, a brown, I was thinking about, I don't think I have it right here, but I have one of those melt gel liners. They have one called Spliff. I think that would look really nice on the top lid. I just am not a huge fan of it, of the top liner, because when I open my eye, if I don't do it thin enough, like that's literally gonna be all you see is the liner, and you won't see the beautiful shadow. But last but not least, I'm gonna take the shade River Glacier, and I am gonna go ahead, I might not take River Glacier, hold on, let me see. All right, I'm gonna take 2 shades. I'm gonna mix Frig and River Glacier together to make my inner corner highlight. And that'll give it a little bit of cool. Not that we need cool, but I'm just saying. And I'm really gonna try to concentrate it into the inner corner. I have a tendency of bringing it over, but I'm gonna try not to do that today. I'm just try to keep it right here. All right, now I have a little bit of fallout. I've definitely put too much. I'm gonna take a little bit of River Glacier. I'm gonna stop because I'm about to start dragging it down, so let me stop. What do y'all think? Pretty, right? Giving us a little bit of cool. Okay, y'all, that's it. That's it for the look. Gonna grab some mascara and put on the lashes, and then we'll see what we think about the look in its entirety. So I'll be right back. What do y'all think? Hold on. Hopefully this looks good with my eyes closed. You know I got that from Martin when I do that. I gotta remember which episode, but it's from Martin. All right, y'all, so what do y'all think? I think this really gives me a fiery vibe, and I am still loving this palette. I am really glad that I decided to play with this palette for a week. I know there is a channel, I cannot remember her name. Is her name Kit? There's somebody, I'll find her channel too and link it. She does 1 week, 1 palette. I don't know if she does it all the time, but this is 1 week, 1 destination, but essentially it's kind of using the same palette for a week. And I just love it. I don't play with my palettes enough. I really, really don't. So I'm looking forward to creating at least 2 more looks. I know one is gonna be an ice look. I know one is gonna be a Northern Lights look. Those definitely are gonna be 2 upcoming videos. But yeah, thank you guys for taking some time out and hanging out with me today. Let me know what you think about the look. Let me know what you think about these accommodations. Would you wanna stay in a pod? Would you wanna stay in a bubble? Would you prefer to stay in, you know, a traditional hotel? Or would you wanna stay at a campground? All of those are very common accommodations in Iceland. It just seems like it's gonna be a really, really great trip when I go. There's just so many different things to do. I wanna look a little more into the food, if there are any traditional foods that people eat in Iceland, and I'm just so interested in learning more. And I've also heard that Nomad Cosmetics will be coming out with something else really soon. And so it just has my mind going about what is their next destination going to be. So until I see you again, make sure you are being gentle with yourself, talk to yourself nice, stay safe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.